Hello there and welcome to the new channel.
Here to help you see
The new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansala.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Argamid.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebostillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mopet Erhino.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice one, dear.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldons.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude. Patrick Hieronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
Mine is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
After Shift.
PNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Healthline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID Stories. Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and more.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just wanna mourn and run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello there and welcome to the new channel. We are here to help you see the new you. My name is Lloyd Luna, streaming live from Makati City, and this is The Big Picture. Thank you for streaming in. My name is Lloyd Luna, your host on The Big Picture. Dito lang po sa the new channel Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, or wherever you're watching from around the world. Good evening to you all. We're saying hi to Jobs, Kaloyski, Ernesto, and Marvin Salazar. They're watching. Thank you so much for streaming in with us. It's a Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen, the 26th day of January 2021. I am excited to do this episode for tonight because I'm going to do a storytelling because our guest tonight was not able to make it for some emergency reasons. So I'm going to do some sort of a storytelling and I'm going to read you something from my book. Yes, Where to Find Success. Where to Find Success. 14 little clues that can light your path to happiness. Yes. But if you're watching us live right now, before I continue, if you're watching us live right now, please do share our live stream link. You can also organize your own watch parties. Pwede rin po yun. Pwede nyo rin pong i-share yung link na ito doon sa mga chat groups ninyo. And you can also watch us live on youtube.com/tncnow. If you're going to watch us on youtube.com/tncnow, well, you can get an opportunity to get a gift courtesy of Unisol and TNC. The item, watch the clip. All right, that's washable face mask worth 800 pesos courtesy of Unisol and TNC. If you're going to watch us live on youtube.com/TNC now and drop some comments in there, you can have that opportunity. And if you're living within Metro Manila, delivery is on us. No problem. All right. So I'm not going to read the headlines from the Manila Times, but if you want to get updated and read some sensual news and you want to get some more information, please go to manilatimes.net, or you can download their application at digitaledition.manilatimes.net. All right, so I'm excited. I hope you are. Again, if you're watching us live right now, please do share our live stream link. You can also organize your own watch party, para marami pong manood sa atin tonight. And I'm also happy because at 4 p.m. today, we have just launched the newest addition to the growing PNC family. We have launched Uplift, Moving on Business with Joey Garcia. And the show is proudly sponsored, presented by JCI Makati. So maraming salamat JCI Makati for making TNC your home for your advocacy. Hello, Pabs. Maraming salamat sa pag-drop dito sa ating stream. So it's interesting. It's interesting times. We are still in pandemic pretty much, and we don't think that this will end real soon. We hope, but there are still a lot of things we need to figure. Yun nga pagbawi ng presidente doon sa recommendation ng IATF na pwede na lobas yung 10 years old to 16 years old. Di ba? Parang we are still trying to figure more than a year back na. Or hindi, no? Kung March yun, mag-iisang taon na, 8 months, and we are still trying to figure things out, which is, I don't know if it's good and bad, but still we're trying to strike the balance between life and livelihood. And at least okay din naman in a sense na I guess better off pa rin tayo dun sa iba pang mga bansa. In other words, hindi man tayo yung worst na bansa na nag-handle itong pandemic. But for sure, there are always one way that is better. And we just have to find it. We just keep on trying. So, speaking of trying, we can also try to succeed in life by doing something that we are very intentional about. So, what do I mean by that? I don't know if you're familiar with laws, but if you're familiar with laws, ito yung mga batas na pag sinabing batas, hindi ito yung dapat sinusunod or very obvious ito yung ginawa because mayroong sense. No? And tonight, I'm very happy to share with you at least a chapter from my book, Where to Find Success. Okay, 14 little clues that can light your path to happiness. See, di ba? Medyo ako nga mismo ako nga mismo hirap. Dahil itong book na ito, I was able to write it in 2008 pa. 2008 po ito sinulat. Yan. So just to give you an idea, every day presents a unique opportunity to find our way to success, yet many people spend their lifetime struggling to find it. In search of luck, many travel far and long to the ends of the world but come back home frustrated. Many try various homegrown ways they think would work, but they find they just wouldn't. Many ask again and again where success might be found, but get no satisfactory answer. This book contains little clues on where you can find your dream success based on the laws of nature. So hindi ito batas na ginawa-gawa na kung sino mga tao, ito po ay batas ng nature. In other words, nag-exist, alam natin, very aware tayo na yun yung batas ng nature. These are practical nuggets of wisdom that will help you realize there's more to what is obvious. And that in the end will make you say, indeed, there is no secret to success. So, if you're ready, I am ready, but let's start. I'm going to, because there are 14 laws in here, no? 14 po yung batas na nandito. Kung mababasa ninyo, 14 po yung batas na yan. Right. So, kukunin ko yung isa siguro, umpisahan ko na dun sa chapter 1, di ba? The Law of Difference, no? So, puntahan natin page 9 daw, The Law of Difference, no? Ayan. The Law of Difference, maybe Direct can type this down there. The Law of Difference, no? The Law of Difference states that successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Ulitin ko po. Successful people do what the unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Now, I know it. You know it. It's obvious, right? It's obvious. Yeah. Law of difference, direct. Kung nandiyan ka. Yan. Law of difference. Yeah, correct. Okay, here's the anecdote. When I was still living in the province, times were tough. There were so many instances when I desperately wanted this or that toy, but I simply couldn't have them. I just didn't have the money. In school, I would envy some of my classmates. They would have great sets of crayons and could make such beautiful drawing projects. I never had those sophisticated tools myself, and I would think that those classmates of mine were able to produce better results than mine because of those tools rather than their innate creativity. My parents were great providers in those days. By this, I mean that they made it possible for us to eat 3 to 5 times a day, and they were loving, kind, and supportive. But I really never asked why they weren't able to satisfy my natural obsession for toys and fancy school supplies. This didn't make them wrong, and this didn't make them bad either. It was just the way they were. I grew up, however, I began to ask some questions about life. What makes the difference in the quality of people's lives? Why are some people rich? Why are some people poor? Why isn't everybody given such riches? Are some people rich because they are born rich? Or perhaps they were just lucky to have an expensive education? And I would also ask, are they rich because God simply wants them to be rich and wants other people like us to be poor? And then, why are some given more while some are even less or given less? Is it their material resources that make some people more handsome and outstanding? Am I born in an unlikely time of history? Is there any way to figure out what makes a person rich? If there is, I decided I would do everything to find out. Notice that I use the term rich. In my childhood, I thought that money was everything. If you were not rich, you were poor. Obviously, you cannot be rich and poor at the same time. But at that time, I really didn't know what success means. And I wasn't sure either if people really knew how to define it. In fact, I didn't have a concept of success and failure until I went to school and got three correct answers out of five questions. Three out of five. I discovered that if I'd give a wrong answer, I would fail. Conversely, if for whatever reason I'd be able to give a correct answer, I'd be successful. I eventually got tired trying to find answers or even clues. So as I was growing up, those questions in my mind became declarative sentences. I used to believe that someone who was successful just got lucky. That's all there was to it. Luck. But we all know that this idea is absurd. We are simply fooling ourselves every time we say that luck is everything. We all know by heart that this isn't true. This is the easiest, no sweat scapegoat from a great number of people to simply say they are unlucky when they fail. Sometimes we even tell ourselves that God did not want this and that thing to happen yet. We'd say, I'd wait until I am 40 before I force myself to get up and strategically make things work. But there's just no luck. So, after some little failure, or after some little failure comes, we just don't do again what we are doing. End of the story. Until I was a sophomore in college, in fact, I had always looked for fast answers, quick fixes, and elevators to success. And I have to admit that several times I give up and shelve the idea to turn my life around for the better. Shelving it somewhere in my heart was one quick solution to cover my frustrations and disappointments. When I was 17, in particular, I'd spend most of my time with my quote friends, end of quote. These people were either jobless, gamblers, heavy drinkers, or drug addicts. I assure you, though, that they weren't bad people. They were kind and supportive. They had their vices, but were dependable. Yet, they didn't have a direction or plan in life. They were nice and witty people. If I needed someone to confide my problems with, they were there, always there. After school, I'd go home and drink with them until dawn. I'd spend every remaining penny in my pockets just to belong to my group. The following day, however, I'd mess up in school. In fact, in my 5 year stay in college or in the College of Engineering of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, I got a failing grade of 5.0 twice. Not once, but twice. After a year, I realized that my life was getting nowhere. I looked back and saw a total systems failure. I was taking an engineering degree, even though I loved writing rather than numbers. Although I had been very active in joining competitions back in high school, I wasn't even joining organizations in college. I wasn't performing well in my mathematics subjects, even if I believed that I could do much better if only I could put some time and effort to it. My whole life got messed up at this point. I didn't know what to do. It then occurred to me that I had shelved something important I was doing in the past. It came back in a flash that I was on my way to finding the reasons why some people are happy and successful and why others are sad and unsuccessful. It seemed like I got lost in the crossroads, so I asked myself, do I retrace my steps and resume my quest to find the answers to my questions about life and about success and failure? Well, obviously, if you're a loser, you don't have anything to lose, right? Maybe. But the most important question I asked at the time had something to do with living and dying. I would say 10 years after, if I am not dead, I'd be alive. And if I'm still alive by then, what kind of life would I have? I'm going to continue reading my book after this short commercial. Please don't go away. The big picture on TNC. We'll be right back. Please stay on our stream. Welcome back. You're still watching The Big Picture on TNC. Before I continue reading my book, as tonight's episode, I'm inviting you to watch our other inspirational shows on TNC. The Big Picture features inspiring stories of notable personalities Mondays through Fridays at 7 p.m. Human Resources Management on HR Hotline Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 noon. The Family Business, Everyone's Business Saturdays, 4 p.m. Success Stories on the Ford Project, Saturday, 6 p.m. Dubai, 10 p.m. Philippines. Beauty Beyond What Your Eyes Can See, Usapang Beauty, Saturdays, 5:30 p.m. Time to hear positive testimonies or positive news COVID stories, Saturdays, 10:30 a.m. Life and Turnaround Stories at U-Turn, Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. The Home Buyer guides you to property buying, Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Laugh and Learn from the Puppet Stories, Mondays, 5:30 p.m. Magbenta, bumili at tumulong dahil bukas na ang TNC Marketplace. Thursdays and Fridays, 10 p.m. Your Rights, YOLO, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Man and More, Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. Philippines, 5:30 a.m. USA. The Stage is Yours, TNC The Talk, Mondays, 12 noon. Chill and Booze After Shift, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Strategize and win in life through Win Within Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Dream, achieve, nurture, and inspire. Danny Art Show Fridays 5:30 p.m. Learn together across borders. Foreign Affairs Tuesdays 10:30 a.m. Health is Wealth Healthline Wednesdays 4 p.m. Celebrate Women at Work 9 a.m. Saturdays. Have an awesome day. Mondays 2:30 p.m. Cybernext is key. Cybernext or cybersecurity is key. Cybernext. Wednesdays at 12 noon. Emerging and Practical Technologies Tech Q Fridays 2:30 p.m. Learn from the market leader Tuesdays and Saturdays 5:30 p.m. Well Home brings a well life Tuesdays and Saturdays 2:30 p.m. Cooking and Coupling. Couple Goals Wednesdays 5:30 p.m. Never too late for a mental shift. Tuesdays, Thursdays 7:30 p.m. USA Wednesdays and Fridays 10:30 a.m. Philippines. Listen to this generation, the millennial voice Mondays 8:30 p.m. Journey continues, moving on business Tuesdays and Fridays 4 p.m. Catch also our originals. One day TNC Arena, TNC Presscon, TNC Town Hall Saturday 7 p.m. hosted by TNC founders Lloyd and Apple. Town Hall is where we talk to you, our valid audience. More upcoming shows that you would like to check out. Follow hashtag TNC now on Facebook and YouTube. Allow your passion to inspire you, and together let us hashtag see the new you. So let me continue reading my book, Where to Find Success. 14 little clues that will light your path to happiness. I wrote this back in 2008, no? So medyo matagal. I therefore decided to get myself back on track, looking for clues and reasons that would lead to the answers to my questions. I started joining student organizations and got myself involved in community and political work. I enjoyed my next 4 years in college doing what I love to do, harnessing more of my skills, developing relationships with the people I got in touch with, creating my own path. I was able to define success in a more personal and obvious statement. Success is making things happen. Before I started my business in 2005, I never had the opportunity to take any business class or attend any seminar. I simply didn't have the money to pay for a seat. I just decided to register a business of my own because I was inspired by two books, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist and How to Get Rich. I just thought I should try, thinking that if you're a loser anyway, you don't have anything to lose. During my first 6 months in the business, it was hell. I wasn't earning. I was starving. I thought all the while that if you are stuck at the bottom, there's no way but up. Nothing could be farther from the truth, right? In the process, however, I'd somehow get involved in the business community. I'd meet CEOs and business owners, and during the time, I think that it was the closest I could get to being a big time in the industry. I couldn't explain exactly that feeling when you are with successful people. It's kind of interesting sometimes, challenging sometimes, nerve wracking sometimes, easy sometimes, frustrating sometimes. It all depends on the video, and I quote video, or quote imagination, and of quote you play in your mind. It could be interesting if you're playing a movie in your head where you are the director of your own business. Challenging if you are the lead actor. Nerve wracking if you are doing every work yourself and you are your own secretary, you are your own delivery boy, you are your own accountant, you are your own sales and marketing force, and you are your own CEO simply because you don't have the resources to hire someone else to do that for you. And it's frustrating if you're a spectator and you're not pleased with your own movie. Nonetheless, I got what I needed in my startup days as an entrepreneur. I was able to study how successful people really become successful, how they turn failures into overwhelming monetary value, how they make the most out of life's givens. It didn't take me long to get the message, and I didn't have a hard time observing, learning, and applying their wisdom. What makes it possible for someone to succeed? After years of living my life in the gutter, I finally found an answer. And that, to me, is a reason to celebrate. Hmm, medyo mahaba-haba pa eh, no? And we are running out of time. I discovered that what separates successful people from the rest of the population is action. Successful people act on their ideas. They believe in their thoughts. They trust that the future belongs to them. Think about this for a moment. Rich or poor, young or old, black or white, tall or short, we all have 24 hours a day. All of us. Now, that's another obvious statement. But why is it that some of us are rich and others are poor? Why is there a gap between the rich and the poor? And what is it that makes that gap? I think it's because only a few people are willing to do what majority of the population wouldn't want to do. Only a few people get the fruits of success, and it's not because they are luckier than the rest, but simply because they do what majority of the population refuses to do. In other words, they do what many people hate to do. Now, what is it that many people hate doing? I'm going to give you the answer when the big picture on TNC returns. Don't go away, stay on our stream. Welcome back. You're still watching The Big Picture on TNC. Let me continue reading my book, the first chapter of the book, Where to Find Success 14 Little Clues That Can Light Your Path to Happiness. Tatatapan ko pala. Yan. Oops. There you go. Where was I? Now, what is it that many people hate doing? Kasi pinag-usapan natin dito, ano yung pinagkaiba ng mayaman at mahirap. So ano yung karamihan ng mga tao ayaw nilang gawin? Marami. Many things. They hate to wake up early in the morning, especially during weekends. At those times, their bodies get so heavy that they just don't feel like getting up. Their spirit may be willing to work, but their body simply doesn't want to respond. 5 more minutes. They say. Di ba? Pag nag-alarm, 10 minutes pa. What about daily alarms? Well, we set up our alarm clocks. Many of us do, but do we really wake up when the clock sounds the alarm? We do, but only to turn it off or snooze again, or to go back to sweet sleep, right? So guess what? You and I are late for work again. You come to work late several times and you're fired. Of course, when this happens, you'd like to think that you've been fired because of the bad company or bad economy, or because the government is corrupt, or your neighbor's dog barks too loud every night. We look for excuses. We blame our or other people or certain unrelated events for our misfortunes. Well, we all know that passing the blame makes us feel comfortable. It allows us to say that we are not responsible for our failure, but we all know as well that This isn't true. When I was writing two business books, I had a chance to shadow different business owners. I literally joined them in almost all of their itinerary, waking up in the morning, going to a board meeting, making a deal, attending socials, speaking to their partners. I would play ghost as all of these are happening. Afterwards, I document how they do things and write about it in my book. This went on for the next 11 months. I then came to the conclusion that these people, despite having, quote, more than everything they need, end of quote, have an inflexible urge to get up early in the morning. They don't feel comfortable sleeping too long. One of them even told me, sleeping, and I quote, sleeping is a death rehearsal. Lloyd, don't be so excited about dying, for we will all get there eventually. And when you die, no matter how hard we try to wake you up, you will just go on sleeping and not wake up anymore. End of quote. I must admit there's truth in what he said. But why do they want to get up early all the time? I found out that they do that not because they need to do it, but because they just love to do it. They are always excited about the brand new day. They cannot wait to continue working on the unfinished business of the previous day. Sure, these people can afford to just sit back, take a longer sleep, or go on vacation as long as they wish, but they don't do that because it's not part of their self concept. Indeed, the simple problem of getting up early could make a big difference in the way we live. If you find it hard to get up, you have a serious problem. Over the long term, that problem negatively affects the way you view life and the way you interpret events around you. Successful people get up early. Unsuccessful people enjoy sleeping. Take note, 99% of success happens when you are awake. After watching successful celebrities and business owners live their dreams and control the way they live their lives, I decided to study the other things they do. I was actually expecting something big, something strange in their other activities, but what I discovered failed to satisfy my expectations. Looking for something big, I found something small instead. One thing common to those who are making it to the top is that they read an average of 3 books per month compared to 0 books in 1 year for the rest of the population. Successful people listen to audiobooks, CDs, and movies about career and personal development, and the rest of the population busy themselves watching TV shows. How do I know? Once during the meeting or during a meeting with a CEO at Forbes Park, I told him about the latest happenings in show business. I told him something about a certain television series. I did this because I just needed something to start the conversation. I was expecting that the businessman, he owns one of the biggest food conglomerates in the Philippines, would be very able to relate to what I was telling him. Then, as I got very excited and passionate in telling him my stories, he suddenly asked, "What are those TV series again?" That question floored me, and I hope something like that doesn't happen to me again. The man didn't watch TV. And later, I got the same declaration from another subject of my study. In fact, I learned that many celebrities, actors, and performers don't even watch TV at all. Here's something even more interesting. I had another unforgettable conversation about this television thing. Don't get me wrong, though, when I relate the conversation here, sometimes I do watch TV. I do, especially if the show directly affects me and I would benefit from watching it. Anyway, the man I was talking with asked me, "Lloyd, are you fond of watching TV?" "Oh, yes, I am," I said. "That's pretty bad," he said. "Why?" I asked. "Because every time you're watching a TV show, someone's getting rich," he said with a sarcastic smile. And then I asked, waiting for the catch, "I'm sure that someone is not you," he said. Indeed, with a few performers on television enjoy what they do and earn more than what they need, we spend our time watching them and making them richer at the same time. Now, I really have nothing against these people or against those who are television addicts. All I'm saying is someone is greatly benefiting from all the TV watching. Prime time is the only time of the day you have for yourself. Right. From your 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 is not yours. Those are the times you are paid to work for a company or business. But every hour after 7 p.m. is your time, maybe. It's for you. It's supposedly to be spent for your personal and relational growth. So why not turn off that mobile phone and log out from your Facebook account and spend some quality time with your family? Perhaps you can call some of your long lost friends and see if they can reconnect or if you can reconnect. You can also go to church for your spiritual concerns. Don't give your prime time to people who don't need it in the first place. Go to a library or pick up some books, even if it feels awkward, even if people around you start giving you that withering look, do it anyway. At first, these people wouldn't understand. For one, they didn't have any idea what you intend to do. But it's not about them anyway, it's about you. One of these days, when they find that you've just made it, all those skeptics around you would want to die because of envy. Thinking back, I had to go through lots of trial and error in my business with heavy emphasis on the error part. In the beginning, not all of the projects I had worked on would materialize. I had many share of canceled seminars and talks, worse, I would sometimes fail to impress my audience, and that gave the organizers reason not to invite me again for their seminars. I also made some deals that failed. While they didn't cost me a lot of money, I didn't have much of it in the first place. These failures cost me precious time. I was to discover that time is the most important asset anyone could have. So I learned to pay more attention to time than any other aspect of my life. In the course of my business, I would experience both personal and professional problems. I once became terribly despondent when I failed in both my business and my relationship. For a while, I even suffered from depression. And several times I found myself alone. No one seemed to care because no one seemed to see my value as a person. But every problem we create has a solution born with it. Successful people solve the problem of unsuccessful people. You've eaten instant noodles or drank instant coffee, but you probably haven't given much thought to the fact that they originated from a major problem in push button society. Most working people are always in a rush. They are always preoccupied with their jobs or with many other concerns. So they say, I don't have much time to cook. Now there was this wise group of people with success in their minds. They came up with the best solution there is on the planet for people who don't have much time to cook: instant food. Because you no longer have the time to cook, you can buy or you can just buy instant food and you're good to go. You can imagine and think about so many other situations in life where this kind of solution might apply. Still, the principle remains the same. Successful people solve the problem that unsuccessful people had created consciously or unconsciously. If you want to succeed, find a problem, then find the best solution there is on the planet for it. Sure enough, you'll get to where you want to be. This is what's obvious with the law of difference. Successful people do what unsuccessful people don't do. That's all the time that we have for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. We'd like to thank Puzzlebox BPO Inc. Also, the show is sponsored by Well Life and Mr. Rice. I'm going to see you again tomorrow for another inspirational episode of The Big Picture. I'm your host, Lloyd Luna, saying thank you and good night.